And the whole point of this is to move forward. So what exactly is the 90-10 eating principle? Okay guys, it says here the 90-10 eating principle refers to a dietary approach where you focus on eating healthy whole foods 90% of the time while allowing yourself to indulge in less healthy treats or cheat meals for the remaining 10% of the time. This is the type of stuff that I like to talk about, especially when it's getting people realistically to understand health and nutrition for themselves. Now, I don't care if you do a vegan diet, vegetarian diet, if you're doing keto or the carnivore diet. I just want people to focus 90% of their effort all the time into eating somewhat healthy foods, and then 10% love your life. Now the rest of this says, essentially giving you flexibility to enjoy occasional indulgences without feeling overly restricted. That's the whole point of the 90-10 eating principle. And I wanted to emphasize the 90-10 eating principle when trying to get other people, wrapped into whatever type diet you're trying to get them to do. Like I said, I don't care what you do or what kind of diet you do. I just want people to focus more on overall health and nutrition for themselves. Don't worry about the masses of other people out there that are judging you and criticizing you. I get criticized on my YouTube channel all the time. Sometimes it's about basic recipes, it's about cooking in the air fryer, it's about the blunders and basic mistakes I might have, putting together a cat tree or a dish strainer. It doesn't matter. Just ignore all of those people, because if you don't ignore them, you're going to have a lot of issues moving forward. And the whole point of this is to move forward. Key points about the 90-10 principle. Focus on healthy eating. The majority of your meals, 90%, should consist of nutrient-dense foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grain, lean protein, and healthy fats. The healthy type of fats that we find in ribeye steak, ground beef, healthy fruits like maybe a banana or an apple, maybe some vegetables that you can handle. I can't handle many vegetables, and that's why I don't eat a lot of vegetables, because I have a problem with the oxalates. Many people like me have problems with the oxalates. Now, if you don't know what oxalates are, just do a simple Google search. It'll talk a little bit about it. But the oxalates, for me, tend to create kidney stones. It also tends to create kidney type issues where I might have frequent or abnormal urination patterns throughout the day or through the night. So if oxalates are a problem, just try removing oxalate-dense foods. So what is an oxalate-dense food? Well, for one, almonds, peanuts, pretty much everything in the nut family can be an oxalate-dense food. Kale, cabbage, garlic, uncooked garlic specifically. Now, if you want to lower the oxalate content, just simply cook your food. And this is why most nuts like peanuts are either boiled or they're dry roasted. So the same thing can apply to vegetables as well. Just simply cook your vegetables. It will naturally lower the oxalate content. If you don't believe me, it's all researchable stuff right there. But the 90-10 eating principle does allow for occasional treats, occasional off-scale type treats. I don't care if you're doing a vegetable diet or if you're doing a meat-based diet. Occasional treats sometimes help people stay motivated to stay in the zone for the majority of the time, that 90% of the time. It says here the remaining 10% is designated for less healthy foods that you might enjoy occasionally without feeling guilty. That's the whole point of the 90-10. You got 10% just to not feel so guilty, and then you can hop right back onto your 90% eating principle, whatever it is you'd care to do. But the thing is, with your 10%, moderation is key. The idea is to maintain a balanced diet, prioritizing health choices most of the time, while still allowing occasional indulgences. Now, whatever your occasional indulgence might be, just keep it to a bare minimum and you'll be staying right in the zone. You'll be losing weight. You'll be getting healthier as a result of this. And this is why I talk a lot about the 90% eating principle and why I love my life. Because in order for a guy like me, a simple guy that's a truck driver here in Alaska, to get started, I had to come up with a basic principle that worked for myself and also a basic principle that I could share with others doing whatever type diet I was doing at that time. That way I could share it out there, project it, and hopefully help other people try to understand how I lost so much weight in the last year and a half. 173 pounds is nothing to laugh about. Although when I got started, people were laughing. They were just like, in awe that like a 300 or 400-pound guy was talking about health-related topics. And my rebuttal to that is, well, you have to start somewhere. If I didn't start a year and a half ago making these videos, I would not have had this much success until right now. Because without these videos and without the 90-10 eating principle and without the carnivore community, I would have never made it to this point. I have got so much love, so much appreciation inside the community, even though I'm not 100% strict carnivore. But my point is you can get a lot of the carnivore benefits without being 100%. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about that because yesterday was Christmas. We had an amazing Christmas. We had opening presents here with family, and then I went out to Wasilla and I visited more family for Christmas dinner. Now, the house was packed full of chaos. There was wrapping paper everywhere, kids running around, toys everywhere. You couldn't find a flat surface in the house that didn't have something on the floor. But when dinner was served, my wife served me a plate because it was just too chaotic to even walk around the house. But she served me a plate. It was a traditional Christmas meal type plate that we usually have around Christmas time, which included turkey, a little bit of potatoes, mashed potatoes with some turkey gravy on top. And one of the side dishes was stuffing that Papa made. That stuff's pretty good. But now the key is when doing any type of diet, you want to focus 90% on the meats. So that's my main focus right there. I was focused on the dark turkey meats, and then I would have maybe 2 bites of the stuffing, a bite of the mashed potatoes, and then I'd move on to back to the turkey. Now, did I have any treats while I was out there? There wasn't many treats available, and that was something that was nice to me. Now, one of the treats I did have was handed to me by Papa, and Papa knows that I'm doing the carnivore diet. So he offered me a little plate that was covered in these shrimp, and it had a little bit of cocktail sauce. I sat there and I enjoyed that before dinner time, but then also throughout the day, I did wind up eating a couple cookies. I ate 2 cookies exactly. These are peanut butter cookies that were cooked by one of my sister-in-laws. Complicated story on how she's exactly a sister-in-law, but she's family to us. And these cookies were a peanut butter cookie that she just made the day before, and they were quite amazing. But again, focus is on 10% at that point. So I didn't overindulge in the cookies. I only had 2. I only had like maybe 2 bites of stuffing. I had 1 bite of the mashed potatoes, and the rest of my day was consistent around meats and fats. Before I even left for Christmas dinner, I sat here right at this table. I cooked myself an air fryer steak. That was it. I had my wife cook up maybe 4 or 5 scrambled eggs. Now that got me all the way through the day. That could have potentially got me through the entire day. I didn't have to eat Christmas dinner at that point if I didn't want to. But in order to be less socially awkward, yeah, I did partake in Christmas meals. And I also had a little bit of this and that. But if you went completely off the rails this Christmas or any of the holidays that we might have throughout the year, I just want to let you know that all of this is here all the time, no matter what. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people out there that claim they went completely off the rails on Thanksgiving, maybe Halloween or Christmas, for instance. We got New Year's coming up, and sometimes people go off the rails at New Year's. But my biggest point is you can lose weight with little to no exercise. And that's exactly what I've been doing for the last year and a half, losing weight with little to no exercise, getting out here on YouTube, explaining my story, explaining my experiences, just so hopefully that average truck driver like myself can get a little of the benefit of the things I'm learning. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a health nutritionist. I don't have any clients. I like it that way. I don't need any type of certificate to talk about my experiences because this is stuff that we learn as we go. And that's where a lot of these people get a little sidetracked when you have concerns or questions to them. They automatically go back to, well, I have 100 and something clients and a degree. My take on that is good for you, sir. You're making money not telling people your secrets, because every single health professional out there tells you just enough. No different than these cooking videos that come out here on YouTube. They don't show you the struggles, the blunders, everything that goes into what they got and how they got to the end result. And this is exactly what keeps you clicking on the videos, coming back as a client, paying them more money, and eventually falling off the wagon, so you have to rinse and repeat over and over and over again, and you wind up buying expensive products you don't even need. But okay, guys, there's my take on the 90-10 eating principle. It is one of the best principles, in my opinion. It worked for me. It's working for millions of other people around the globe. Even when they start adding in things like the carnivore diet to the mix, you get a lot of the great benefits of the carnivore diet without having to be totally constrained and restricted and feeling like you're doing damage to your body when you go off scale just a little bit. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see what it's going to say today.
I named my horse Mayo. Mayo neighs.
I hope to see you guys in the next one. Did you only record like a stupid little clip? What the f is going on with you?